What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? I learned that Washington never told a lie. I learned that soldiers sell.
Alright, good day class. You are welcome to today's online class. Last week we treated control account. And we said control account is a memorandum account into which transactions as recorded in ledgers are transferred into in order to determine the arithmetic accuracy of such transaction. Therefore, control account helps us to identify errors, prevent such errors, identify frauds, prevent the occurrence of such fraud, helps in providing relevant information needed for preparing financial statements or accounts, and as such it provides needed information for decision making. Now the last time we met, we treated illustration 1, but today we are going to be looking at illustration 2 on control account. Please take this topic very serious, because in your WAEC you have control account, your NECO you have control account, your JAMB you have control account, even when you enter university you have control account. So please remember, whatever you are doing in life, you need control. Please, let's now look at the control account on the board simultaneously. Now, from the question we have on the board, we are told that the following balances were extracted from the book of David Nigeria Limited on 31st August 2018. We have debtor ledger balance. We have debtor ledger balance, the debit side, we have the credit side. We have creditor ledger balance, the debit side. We have creditor ledger balance, the debit side, 160,000, and so on and so forth to the last one here, which is cash paid to suppliers, 20,000 naira. Now, and we are required to prepare debtor ledger control account and creditors ledger control account. But remember, one thing that is very, very important here that you need to know is that when you are talking about debtors ledger control account is also known as what? Sales ledger control account. Is that taken out? The question asks us to prepare what? Debtor ledger control account. But remember, debtors ledger control account is also known as what? Sales ledger control account. So we are asked to prepare debtor ledger control account and creditors ledger control account. Let's take the first one, the debtors ledger control account. We have debtors or sales. Another name for debtor is sales or debtor ledger control account. Now we have the credit side, and here we have the debit side. Now bring down the tabular form of this. Now bring down your naira sign, bring down your naira sign. Now I think you can recall, this is the format we are going to use to prepare our debtors or sales ledger control account. Debtor ledger control account is also known as sales ledger control account. Now let's take a look at the board. We have the first transaction here. The first transaction says what? Debtors balance, debtors ledger balance, debit 150,000. Now the first transaction said that debtors ledger balance, debit side, that is now all this balance you have here at the beginning of the question, like I said last time we met, all the balances you have at the beginning of the question, they are the opening balances. Now if you have debit, you take it to debit. If you have credit, take it to credit. Is that taken out? Now the first one says that debtors ledger balance, debit 150. It means you are going to, since you have debit here, you record it on the debit side. Is that taken out? Let's now record that one. We have balance brought forward, and such opening balance is regarded as balance brought forward. Now we have balance brought forward. From the question, the balance brought forward is 150,000. You bring it to this side, we have 150,000 naira. I think you can see now clearly we have treated the first transaction. Now let's move to the next one. The next transaction states that debtor ledger balance credit, debtor ledger balance credit. Remember, any item that will come to this account, they are those items that are related to sales or debtors. Now the next one we have debtor, and we are dealing with debtor. Therefore, this one will come to this. We are done with this. You can mark this one. We are here in number 2. Debtor balance credit. Debtor balance credit is 10,000. You put 10,000 here. You write it again. Remember, your opening balance is always balance. We have balance brought forward. Balance brought forward. On the debit side we have 150, on the credit side we have 10. So we have treated the first and the second transaction. Now we move to the next one. The next transaction says that creditor ledger control account. Here creditor, remember we are dealing with sales, we are dealing with debtor. So creditor will not come to debtor. We don't need this one. So you can just put dot there. We'll come back to that later. Now we have another one again. We have creditor. Anything relating to creditor or purchase, we don't need it in this account. We have creditor, we don't need it. We have another creditor, we don't need it. You start it, we come back to that later. We have another one, we have credit sales. Remember that what we have here, credit sales. And I told you that all the items that will enter debtors ledger control account, they are items related to debtors and sales. And another name for debtor ledger control account is called sales ledger control account. So any item that is related to customer, debtors, or sales will come to debtor ledger control account or sales ledger control account. So we have credit sales, 92,000. So your credit sales is debited. Your credit sales will be debited to our sales ledger control account. So you bring it, our sales ledger control, our credit sales is 92,000 naira. You come to this place, bring down your 92,000 naira, and what do we write here? We have credit sales. Credit sales. From the question we have credit sales. So we are done with this one. You mark it. Now we move to the next transaction, credit purchase. Purchase does not relate to sales or debtor, so we don't need it. You start it, we come back to that later. We have discount allowed. You know, I told you last time we met, I told you that discount allowed is a price reduction given to customer as a result of bulk purchase. Therefore, discount allowed is usually given by the seller. In this case, since the seller is giving out discount, it's an expense to the seller, and as such discount received, discount allowed will be credited to sales ledger control account or debtors ledger control account. So discount allowed will be on the credit side. So we write discount allowed. Discount allowed. How much is discount allowed? 13,000. We have 13,000 naira. So you can mark this. We are done with this. Is that taken out? We have another one again. Discount received. Discount received meaning that is a price reduction received as a result of bulk purchase. Remember, discount allowed is the seller that is giving discount allowed. You give discount when you sell, while you receive discount when you buy. So the company discount received is related to purchase. We don't need discount received here because discount received is only given, or is only you can only benefit from discount received when you make a purchase. Therefore, discount received is related to purchases. So you can start it, you don't need it in this account. You start it, you don't need it here. Now what do? We move to the next one. We have return inward. Return inward simply means part of the good purchased return back to the seller. So such return inward is credited to this account. Is that taken out? Return inward means part of the good you sold to the customer, then the customers now return fractional part or part of the good back to you, the seller. So discount received is an item of debtor or sales. You now record your discount, you record your return inward here. Return inward. How much is the return inward? 6,000. Return inward is 6,000. You bring down your 6,000 naira, you can mark that. You mark it so that next time we don't need to waste our time there. Is that taken out? The only item we are going to use later are those items that we start. Is that taken out? Now we go to the next one. We have contra entry. Like I said last time, I told that contra entry simply means, I told that contra entry is a situation whereby the debtor becomes the creditor and creditor becomes the debtor. How? For instance, you want to produce egg roll, you want to start selling egg roll. You don't have money to start your business. You now went to those people that supply egg and the other things you need to make your egg roll. They now supply you those things on credit. At that point, you are the debtor. Them are the creditor because you are owing them. But after finishing producing the egg roll, and those people that sold those raw materials to you now came back to you and purchased the egg roll you produce on credit. At that point now, it means that you are the seller and they are the debtor. So at this point, you can see that you buy from them, they buy from you. Is that taken out? There is a contra entry. So any amount of money I'm owing those people will be deducted from the money they are owing me. So at that point, we call it contra entry set off. So contra entry set off will be recorded in both accounts, the sales and the purchases ledger control account. So we need it in this account. And remember, our contra entry is credited to this account. We have contra entry. What is our contra entry? 4,000. You can mark it 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira. Now we move to the next one. We have bad debt. Bad debt is credited to this account. Bad debt. How much is the bad debt? 6,000. Our bad debt is 6,000 naira. Is that taken on? What is the meaning of bad debt? Bad debt simply means unrecoverable debt that occurs as a result of credit sales. Now we move to the next one. Mark this one. We have bill dishonor. Bill dishonor is debited to debtor ledger control account. We have bill dishonor. Bill dishonor. Bill dishonor. How much is the bill dishonor? 5,000 naira. You can mark it 5,000 naira. Now you move to the next one. We have bill receivable. Bill receivable is credited to debtors ledger control account. We have bill receivable. Bill receivable. How much is the bill receivable? We have 12,000. We add it to 12,000 naira. Can mark it. Now we have another one again. Return outward. Return outward is an item of purchases or creditor. We don't need it here. We have cash refund. Cash refund. Cash refund to what do you say? Okay, cash refund to customer. Is that taken a cash refund to customer? Meaning that part of the cash recorded that we receive, we are now returning back to the customer. Therefore, cash refund to customer will be debited to this account. We have cash refund. Cash refund. How much is the cash refund? Is 10,000 naira. You mark it. We are done with this. Mark it. We have 10,000 naira only. Now we move to the next transaction. We have cash received. Cash received from debtor. Go to this account. Is that taken? Cash received from debtor. Go to this account. We have 13,000. So cash received from debtor is, it will be on the credit side. Cash from debtor. How much is the cash from debtor? We have 13,000 naira. Cash from debtor. 13,000. So you mark it. Now we go to the last one. Cash paid to suppliers. Suppliers are creditors, and we are dealing with debtors or sales. We don't need it here. So for God so loved the world, this is the end of sales or debtors ledger control account. For God so loved the world, this is the end of debtors or sales ledger control account. Now we are now left with balancing off of accounts. So we need to add the debit side together, take the credit side together, and find the difference between the debit and the credit side. Let's do that. We have 0 plus 0, we have 0. 0 plus 0, we have 0. 0 plus 0, 0 is 0. Yes. 0 plus 2, 2. 2 plus 5, 7. 7 plus 0, 7. We have 5 plus 9, 14. 14 plus 1, 15. 5 carry 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So this plus this plus this plus this will give us 2. When you add them together, you have 257,000. We have 257,000. Let's add the credit side together. 10,000 plus 13,000, we have 23,000. 23,000 plus 6, we have 29,000. 29,000 plus 4, we have 33,000. 33,000 plus 6, 33,000 plus 6, we have 39,000. 39,000 plus 2, we have 41. 41 plus 10, we have 51. 51 plus 3, we have 54. 54 plus 10, we have 64. So the total, the credit side is 64,000. We have, let's put it down here, 64,000. Now 257 is greater than 64. Therefore, we now have a balance carried down of this minus this. Is that taken out? When you minus it, what we have 0, 0, 0. We have 3. We have this minus is not possible. We have 15. We have 9, 1. We have 193,000. 193,000 naira. Meaning that the debit side minus the credit side, it will give us 193,000. So when you balance it off, you have 257,000 naira only. We have 257,000 naira only. So now in exam, when you have this kind of question in your WAEC, in your exam here, so you prepare it this way. So this is the end of debtor ledger control account. So we now move to the next one, which is creditors ledger control account. Thank you very much. Alright, now this is creditors ledger control account. This is the second account we're required to prepare. Remember, the previous account was debtors or sales ledger control account. So this one now, creditors, is the same thing as purchases ledger control account. So all the items that will enter this account, they are items that are related to purchases or creditors. Now, looking at the fact, we are done with this. We have done. So we need to treat this item. We have creditors ledger control account. Creditor ledger's balance debit. So if you take this balance to the debit side, we have 5,000 naira here on the debit side. Remember that your opening balance is usually put in form of balance brought forward. So your opening balance is represented by what? Balance brought forward. Debit, we have 5,000 naira. Now you move to the next item. We have creditors ledger balance. Credit, meaning that you take this opening balance to the credit side of the account. Now you have your balance brought forward. Remember that your opening balances, you represent them with what? Balance brought forward. Looking at the question clearly, we have creditors balance. Credit side is 160,000 naira. 160,000 naira. You bring down your 160,000 on the credit side. Now clearly we have treated the debit side balance and we have treated the credit side balances. Now we move to the next transaction. The next item on the board is credit purchases. Remember that purchases ledger control account is known as creditors ledger control account. So all the items that will enter into this account, they are item of purchases or creditors. What do we have here? Credit purchases is credited. So credit purchases will be credited to this account. We have credit purchase. Credit purchases. How much is the credit purchases? Our credit purchases is 95,000 naira. Credit purchases is 75,000 naira. So we move to the next transaction. We have discount received. We have not treated discount received. Discount received will be debited. We have discount received. Discount received. How much is the discount received here? 11,000. Our discount received is 11,000 naira. We bring down your 11,000 naira. Now we move to the next item. We have contra entry. I've explained that before. Contra entry, when you're talking about contra entry will be debited to this account. We have contra settlement, contra entry or settlement. Contra entry is also known as contra settlement. We have 4,000 naira. You bring down your 4,000 naira. Now you move to the next transaction. We have bad debt. We've treated bad debt. So you move toward the return outwards. Return outward is an item of creditor because you can only return outward simply means part of the good purchase return back to the seller, because such good purchase does not meet up with the special requirements of the buyer or special specification of the buyer, and as such discount, such return outward will be treated as an item of purchases ledger control account or creditors ledger control account. Looking at the looking at return outward will be credited to return outward will be debited to the purchases ledger control account. We have return outward will be debited to this account. Return outward of 7,000 naira will be debited to this account. We have return outward 7,000 naira on the debit side. Now we move to the next transaction. The next transaction on the board is cash paid to suppliers. Amount of money paid to the suppliers. Remember, who are the suppliers? Suppliers are the sellers of raw materials. And it is very important and highly pertinent to note that suppliers are also known as creditors. Therefore, this item will be treated in creditors or purchases ledger control account. Now, the amount of cash paid to suppliers will be debited to this account. Cash paid to suppliers will be debited to this account. Why? To reduce the amount of cash initially credited to this account. I come again. Cash paid to suppliers will be debited to purchases ledger control account or creditors ledger control account. Why? Because to reduce the amount of credit sales, to reduce the amount of credit purchases initially recorded by the bookkeeper. So now we have cash paid to suppliers, we have 20,000 naira. Cash paid to suppliers, cash paid, how much is cash paid to suppliers? We have 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira. Now, for God so loved the world, this is the end of creditors or purchases ledger control account. This is the end of creditors or purchases ledger control account. Now, what we need to do is to balance off the debit side, balance off the credit side, and take the difference. And such difference is termed as closing balance. Now, let's start. When you are dealing with purchases, you start on the credit side, because credit side is expected to be greater than the debit side. When you add this one together, what do we have? 0 plus 0, we have 0. 0 plus 0, we have 1, 0. 5 plus 0, we have 5. Alright, when you are dealing with purchases ledger control account, you start adding from the credit side. Why? Because credit side is expected to be greater than the debit side. Now we have this plus, we have 0, 0. 5 plus 0, we have 5. 6 plus 7, we have 13. 3 carry 1. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 is 2. So the total credit item is 235,000 naira. And on the debit side, we have 5,000 plus 11,000, we have 15,000. 15 plus 4, we have 19. 19 plus 7, we have 26. 26 plus 20, we have 46. So the total balance on the debit side is 46. Now, looking at this clearly and simultaneously, we see that the credit side is greater than the debit side. Then we take the difference. The difference is what? 235,000 minus 46,000. Let's do that. We have 46,000. We have 0, 0, 0. 5 minus 6 is not possible. 115. We have 9. This one remains 2. We have 8, 1. We have 189,000. So the balance is 189,000. And such balance is called balance carried down, representing the closing balance. So you add them together. When you add them together, you have 235,000 naira. So this is the end of purchases or creditors ledger control account. So this is the end of purchases or creditors ledger control account. Remember, we started with the opening balance. Started with the opening balance on the credit side. Start with the opening balance on the debit side. At the same time, we bring down a discount, contra entry, return outward, and so on and so forth. So in your exam, in your WAEC, NECO, or your normal school exam, please, control account is very, very important. That is why I'm taking my time to explain control account for 3 weeks. So please, take your online classes very serious, and I wish to see you soon. God bless you all. This is the end of the class. Your assignment will be on the Google Classroom. I love you all. And remember, control account is very, very important. It's a memorandum account that records all transactions as posted into the ledger in order to identify error, prevent errors, identify fraud, prevent such frauds, provide necessary information to prepare the account, and enables the business decision maker to make relevant and economic decision on how to grow the business. And in summary, control accounts are divided into two. We have one, debtors ledger control account, which is also known as sales ledger control account, and number 2, we have the creditors ledger control account, which is also known as purchase ledger control account. I love you all, and God bless you.
What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? I learned that Washington never told a lie. I learned that soldiers seldom